Well, blooper. Well, salutations, kindred spirits, greetings, welcome back to the Magic Studio, and hey, welcome back to school. Yeah, we're still doing that. We're in a series, day 4, back to school week, and today we're going to do some more learning. Now, yesterday I had a bit of a conundrum, if you will, deciding, hey, what am I going to teach these folks? And then somewhere last night I had a revelation. I know exactly what to teach you, and that is this: how to learn. I think the old saying is this: give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, feed him for his life. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to teach you how to fish for some magic tricks as we explore 10 ways that you can learn magic in 2022. And full disclosure, I don't even know if I have 10 ways but I'm going to call this video that. It'll be good for the algorithm. And speaking of the algorithm, if all of this sounds interesting to you, drop a like, drop a subscribe. It helps the pieces of the puzzle fit together. And with that juice out of the way, let's get started with where to learn magic. Well, first and foremost, you know I'm going to say it, it's books. Of course it's books, and when we recommend books, there's a lot of books we could recommend. If you don't have this one, this is where you start. And this is a book that actually, and this is something I do like to recommend all the time, you can find a book like this at the public library. So if money is a thing for you, well, just go to the library. That's where I got started when I was a kid, 11 or 12. I'm reading all the library books in the school. These days, the youngsters have the wonderful resources of online libraries. You can just go online and read the books right there. I actually did a video on this subject 5 years ago when I was trying to be a YouTuber with an iPhone 4. Maybe I'll leave a link to that video in the description here. You can go check out some vintage con. It's not very good video, but the lesson is there. Go to the library and you could read some stuff online. So that's an option. And there is a lot of options beyond that for magic books. For example, let me mention one more online resource, actually, library.com, when we're talking about reading magic books online. This is a wonderful online resource with literally thousands of magic books for your perusal, so check that out. Beyond that, also, visit your local magic dealer, and if you don't have a local one, maybe look online. You know, Vanishing Ink, they're the big deal. They publish all the biggest, latest books. You can go search their catalog, or maybe you visit a dealer like Brent Braun over at the J&B Magic Theater and shop, who carries a nice selection of quality magic books. But you get the idea. Go read some books. Now, when I'm talking about books, I want to mention a related cousin, and that is magic magazines, which I enjoyed growing up all my life. I've read magic magazines. They're maybe less prevalent today as they were in years past, but this is a great resource. I want to mention like a couple of options here, and the first two would be the Society of American Magicians and the International Brotherhood of Magicians. These are the national and international organizations that publish a monthly periodical. So that is one option. You join the club, you get a magic magazine. But I really think this is the value. Genie magazine. This is published by Richard Kaufman, and the super value with this, beyond getting up-to-date information, you learn all the latest tricks, and there's reviews and articles. Randy Pitchford just bought the Magic Castle. We learned that. But the real value in getting a subscription to Genie is this: you get online access to all the magic issues, which dates back, is it 60, 70 years? They've been publishing Genie for a long time. Kaufman advertises it as access to over 10,000 tricks. Also you get access to digital files of Magic Magazine, which is another wonderful resource. And both of these resources are indexed through Ask Alexander, which is a wizard database. We'll talk about Ask Alexander a little further down the line, but yeah, magic periodicals. And as I mention these, I got to mention like some of the compilations that I've enjoyed. Here we are bringing the first topic into the second topic. These are magic magazines that have been compiled into books, and epilogue by Carl Fulves. Carl Fulves published a lot of zines in his day. Howard Lyons is my favorite writer. Here's Harry Lorraine's Apocalypse. Look at the volume here. There's 4 of these compilations that Harry Lorraine published in his lifetime. A one-man show it was for Harry. I think that's not true. He did it with Richard Kaufman for a short while. But yeah, magic periodicals. And if you want a great value, that Genie at $35 a year with access to all of the Genie magazines, all of the history, and then all of the magic magazines. Oh, so much great stuff. I published a lot of things in both of those, and if you search their contents, go ahead and search Ask Alexander. You'll find me in there, and that's recommendation. Is it number 2? Are we on 2 or 3? 3. 2 or 3. We're not counting. I'm not going to get to 10, but that's another recommendation. All right, I know a lot of you don't want to read. You guys are all interested in the visual learning. That's why you're watching me on the YouTube. That's going to be our resource number 3. Note it's not top of the list because the top teaching is not on YouTube, but there's a lot of YouTube teaching going on that is worth watching. I hope you've discovered some of it. You know, guys like Jay Sankey, Sean Devine's doing some cool stuff. A lot of guys have been doing great stuff for years. Alex Pandrea, and I could list a lot. Now, here's what I would like you to do. Lloyd Barnes is doing great things right now. Here's what I want you to do. Drop some comments on who you think is worth watching on YouTube. This will not only enlighten me, but other readers and watchers of the stream. They can peruse the comments and maybe get your input on who you should be learning from on the YouTube platform. Now, as I talk about learning in a video medium, I really want to mention this. Real Magic Magazine. Real Magic Magazine, published by Cosmo, Ted Brainerd, and a buddy of mine going on 20-something years, 23 years? I don't know. He started a business where he did a DVD publication. It would arrive in your mailbox monthly. This has segued into what has become like the Netflix of magic right now. There are other magic video subscriptions. I know Craig Petty's doing one you might want to check out. I think he calls it Net Tricks. Oh boy, Real Magic Magazine is well established. You get the archive of all those videos, all those DVDs that he published in the years past, and then a load of special features, including lectures. Like I did a lecture for him. You'll find about 6 or 8 of my routines, dozens of those events, special trick teach-ins, and at $5 a month, it's the best value in magic, no doubt in my mind. Go check out Real Magic Magazine and then thank me later. Now, there are other video alternatives that maybe you pay a little more premium for that are worth your attention. I could mention a lot of them. There's companies doing it. I'm going to focus a little attention on the Penguin Magic's live lecture series. This is where they host professional magi in a professional studio environment with layman audience and some magicians. You get to see a professional perform his act, and then they teach this material, which at $40 a piece, a little more than that $5 entry point, but man, you get professional advice from the pros. Well worth your money in my opinion. So yeah, videos, it's an option. Now, when I was a kid, I used to learn this way. I would go into the magic shop on Saturday, and this is a ritual I did for the better part of 4 or 5 years. Literally every Saturday. I guess this was kind of like my magic school. It was very much like that. I could walk into the magic shop and learn from the guy working the counter, maybe learn from the guy buying stuff from the guy working the counter, a kindred spirit. And also the pros, they would hang out at the shop. Sometimes they'd be gathering around the table, trading secrets, and you could get some of that information. But wow, these resources are not available to the modern student, not as much as they used to be. And hey, if you do have a brick and mortar shop in your area, go support that thing. Just do it. It's important. All right, but now what do? You need a mentor. You need some learning from the pros. How do you get this? Well, the pros are finding a way to deliver this information, and there's a few of them doing it the right way. One of them is my favorite magician of all time living, and that man is David Williamson. Let's take a look at his Magi-School endeavor. And this is a portal for a few things, the least of which is having access to David Williamson as a personal instructor. He does regular live seminars for his groups, and there is a catalog of learning resources. Heck, if you join this thing at $9 a month and you do nothing else and to go learn David Williamson's handling for the top change, your money is well spent. You can go watch that. Thank me later. But hey, when I think of finding a mentor in a modern age, these masters that are choosing to offer teaching, whether it be one-on-one or in a group situation, they're worth your attention. There's several people doing it. I'm kind of one of them doing it on YouTube in my own way. All right, so maybe a price point of $5 or $9 or even $1 is much for some people in some parts of the world. I understand that. And there are some good free resources where you can find this mentor relationship, or at the very least where you can hang out with kindred spirits and develop some bonds. I do want to mention a couple of magician forums that are worth your attention, but with caution, and I'll just mention a couple of them here. The big one, the green monster as they call it, is the Magic Cafe. This thing has been online for as long as the internet, and there is literally a topic for every topic to be researched. Now, along with this monster, there is a lot of opinions and a lot of people suggesting you do things that might not be the best way to proceed. So I suggest you look at it, and you look at it with caution. And then you can find Facebook groups, specialized groups for really all kinds of things. Mentalism, pocket magic. The group that I'm going to recommend is this one. All Things Magic. All Things Magic. This is run by Luke Dancy. Thousands of magicians in this group, and he does many special events, regular thing every Tuesday. The real resource here is the online Zoom gatherings that happen on a regular basis, and this is where you can get an opportunity to session with 10, 20, sometimes more, sometimes less magicians that just see fit to join this thing and say, hey guys, let's jam. And I jump on sometimes. I've seen guys like Chris Kinner on there, the right-hand man to David Copperfield. Lots of top-notch professionals jump on the online jam at the All Things Magic group on Facebook. Go give them a look. Now, when we're talking about magic groups and gatherings, I certainly would be remiss if not mentioning some of the clubs and conventions that happen on a regular basis around this country. We mentioned the International Brotherhood of Magicians, Society of American Magicians. There's the Texas Association of Magicians, the Pacific Coast. There's a lot of them, and you could Google your area, find out what magic clubs meet in your area, and maybe what magic conventions. And there are some great ones that happen on a regular yearly basis. Here's a couple that you could put on your radar. Magi Fest, produced by Vanishing Ink. That's a big one. Top-notch events happening there. Magic Live, produced by Stan Allen. This is related to the Magic magazine I mentioned earlier. We have the International Brotherhood of Magicians, Society of American Magicians, the Texas. There's several big conventions and just as many smaller focused conventions. Maybe sleight of hand, maybe kids magic, maybe you're a mentalist. And on a side note, it does not have to be a professional organized event to do this. In fact, I spent the better part of 10 years meeting with what we called the Knights of Sleights. This was a small group that was headlined by John Rockerbomber, a local New Orleans Magi, and really world-renowned for his library of books. Visit library.com. Go look up John Rockerbomber's hundreds of manuscripts available on that resource. But yeah, John hosted a group. It was just a group, and we met every Monday, and wow, what a learning experience that was. And if you can find a group like that, well, join them. It's worth your time. All right, let's wrap this up with a look at two of my favorite online resources, and I use these whenever I'm researching a trick, an effect, a routine, and I think if you do the same, maybe you'll be able to take the magic that you do, learn more about it, and improve magic that's working for you already. And what am I talking about here? I'm talking about Ask Alexander. We talked about that a little earlier, and then the Conjuring Archive. These are both databases of books and periodicals that will give you really, here, let's do this. We'll go to Ask Alexander. We'll type in Doug Kahn, and what do we get? Literally hundreds of resources. It dates me back to the early 90s, which is indeed when I started publishing magic, and a bunch of stuff I don't even remember publishing. So yeah, this is the power of Ask Alexander. And as well, Dennis Bayer's Conjuring Archive, which is a great database of books, and it's updated regularly. And what I'll do is this: when I'm researching a trick, I will take the name of this trick, I'll plug it into both these things and find out the resources that I have, and maybe find out some of the resources that seem interesting for me to study and improve the magic moments that I'm offering to my audience. So let's make that the last lesson for the day. This: you don't need new tricks. You don't need more. I mean, sure, we want them. I want them. I learn new tricks all the time. But what we really need is to improve the magic that we've already done. And hopefully some of the resources we've discussed today, Ask Alexander, Conjuring Archive, start there, type your tricks in. But yeah, go to the library, join some magic forums, get a mentor. Lots of ways to improve the magic that you do. And if you do that, you'll be a better you and the world will be a better place. Yeah. Well, there's your lesson for today, this day 4 of Back to School Week. I'll see you tomorrow as we investigate the Chop Cup. And hey, if you need more, I'll leave some lessons here. Thanks for watching. Ciao for now.